All right, so meanings of division. So we are starting this first part. It says here's an expression 20 divided by 4. What are some ways to think about this expression? Describe at least 2 meanings you think it could have. So not only are you thinking about the expression, you're also going to tell me 2 things that it could mean. All right, you have 2 minutes. Go. This is independent work. Not talking. Independent means by yourself. All right, so anybody like to share one way that they thought about this expression or what it meant? Christian,
One way is how many are in each of 4 groups?
how many are in each of 4 groups?
Yes.
Okay, what's another one? Cooper.
What times 4 equals 20? Like blank times 4.
All right, what's another one?
How many times 4 can go into 20?
All right, and give me one more.
How many times can you take 4 away from 20?
How many times technically you can only take 4 away from 20 once. So, let's see. How can we adjust his a little bit? So I think he's on the right track. I just think maybe we need to use a different operation. So he said, how many times can you take 4 from 20? So, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
You get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what word could we use that's a little bit different?
How many times can you divide?
All right. So a lot of open up is you problem solving. You know, a couple of you guys were like deer in the headlights. You didn't know what I was asking. You've got to try. You've got to figure it out. Yes?
So wouldn't, how many times can you divide 20 by 4? Wouldn't that only
mean, technically you divide 20 and 4 and you get 5.
I think it's more like one time to get 5, which is what we're trying to do. But what Jack said was, how many times repeated subtraction.
Okay, that's fine. Are we all on the same page though?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I might have made a mistake and that's perfectly okay. I'm gonna make mistakes all the time. So I apologize if you were right. I didn't understand. Okay? All right, so there's gonna be times when you guys have to kind of problem solve on your own and kind of stumble and fumble through this curriculum. This is one thing that's good and bad about it. So, all right, so 2.2, bags of almonds. It says a baker has 12 bags of almonds. She puts them in bags so that each bag has the same weight. So you have two students. Claire and Tyler drew diagrams and wrote equations to show how they were thinking about 12 divided by 6. So this is Claire's diagram and equation, good Lord. And this is Tyler's diagram and equation. So your question here is, do you think Claire and Tyler thought about 12 divided by, or how do you think Claire and Tyler thought about 12 divided by 6? Explain what each diagram and each part of each equation, especially the missing number, might mean in the context of the bags of almonds. All right, and then we're gonna pause because then you're gonna talk about it in your groups. All right, so put your pencils down because I want you to listen because there's a couple of questions within this question. It says, first, how do you think Claire and Tyler thought about 12 divided by 6? So that's your first question you gotta answer. Explain what each diagram and each part of each equation, especially the missing number, might mean in the context of bags of almonds. All right, so I will give you 3 minutes for this. Go. You're not working together, you're working by yourself right now. You're answering, then we're gonna discuss. Alright, if you're done, your pencil should be down. If you're finishing up your sentence, just finish that sentence up real quick. Alright, so the first part I want you to talk to your table mates about is just that first question of how do you think Claire and Tyler thought about 12 divided by 6? We're not talking about anything else, just that. I'm going to give you guys a minute and a half. If we need a little bit more time, I'll give it to you. All right, go ahead.
Think about how like about like my piece was 12 two groups. Fifth grade, you was like, someone in the bathroom did like a cute vibe. They make me like a every day.
So what do you mean how they thought about it was weird?
They got super weird, like one more snitch. Like single, like.
Alright, if you haven't kind of already talked about, because the first couple groups I did listen to, good conversation, good discussion. So the next one says explain what each diagram and each part of each equation, especially that missing number, might mean in the context of the bags of almonds. So you have a minute and a half.
I only did one part of it, so I did the missing numbers halfway, which I'm pretty sure the bag, which I think is like the bag, and then so did you say 12 tons? There was 6 in your bag. Yeah, that's like 24 tons now. Why can't a ton just be one pound? Actually, I think it might be because it's 1 pound.
So like,
How much is halfway? The amount of crab it's putting on each bag. Just like,
155.
2 people can
Alright, so I talked to 2 groups over here for that second part, and for the most part it seems like we came up with the same ideas. So for the explain what each diagram and each part of the equation means, Rena, what did you guys say for Claire? Oops, I spelled something wrong.
For Claire, the missing number represents the bag, the number of bags. For Tyler, the number missing number represents how many pounds are in each of the bags.
Okay, so for Claire, number 2 represents the bags. And then for Tyler, number 2 represents, I totally spelled that wrong, don't judge me, represents. That's why I work with numbers. Represents the what?
For Tyler, it represents how many pounds of
All right, how many of you guys came up with something similar? So like the number 2 for Claire, there are 6 pounds per 2 bags. And then for Tyler, there are 2 pounds per 6 bags. How many of you guys came up with that same idea? All right, that's essentially where you should be. So if you didn't, please make sure you get this information right here down on your paper. All right, now we are going to slide over to number 2. So this one says, I'll try to zoom in a little bit more for you guys. This one says explain each division expression, explain what each division expression could mean in the context of the bags of almonds. Then draw a diagram and write a multiplication equation to show how you are thinking about this expression. So let's do this first one together, just so you guys kind of have an idea. So your division problem is 12 divided by 4. What is our total number? No.
12.
First of all, do not call out. That's a big thing. Don't call out. Jack.
12.
So our total is 12. So does anybody know what this little box that we're making is actually called, Christian?
Oh, I know what's called, but I know what it does.
Okay, what does it do?
It's the division, the only number is in the top, and the one that's divided by is on the left side.
Not on the left side, but close. All right, these are tape diagrams. So over here, these 2 are tape diagrams, and the next 3 are going to be tape diagrams. Tape diagrams are used for division, they're also used for addition, and they're also used for multiplication. So depending on what we do within it. All right, so 12 is our whole number that goes on top. What are we dividing 12 by?
4.
We just talked about this. Mason.
4.
So I'm going to divide this box into 4, which means that each one of these boxes are going to equal 3. So therefore, what is my multiplication problem? Cooper.
12 divided by
No. What is my multiplication?
3 times 4 equals 12.
Perfect. So that's what you're doing for the next 2, for B and for C. All right, stand up. I'm going to set a timer for 4 minutes, but stand up when you get this done. Go ahead. Yes, but it's going to be different. Put your book away. I'm not telling you again. You have 30 seconds. 30 seconds. No. Someone was reading. Not you. Okay. So again, if you're finished, stand up. All right, have a seat. So this next one, pretty easy, right? 12 divided by 2, we've kind of already done that one, haven't we? All right, so your 12 goes on the top, and here is your box. And what are we dividing, stop please, what are we dividing 12 by? Right? So how many boxes am I gonna have in my diagram? 2. And each box is going to be a value of 6. So this is going to be 2 times 6 equals 12. Now, there was one person in the class that got this next one correct. And the way you check is you have to do the actual problem for this one. How many of you guys did something to the tune of 2 times 6 equals 12 or 6 times 2 equals 12? So if I do my division out, sorry, 12, okay, calm down. Good gracious, give a girl a minute, woo! Fucking thanks. Good, Lord have mercy. How many boxes are you supposed to have? You cannot, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot go and do 12 divided by 2. It doesn't work. Okay? So yeah, this box, hold on Emily, I will call on you in 1 second. This box over here, and obviously there is no way that I'm going to fit 24 tallies in the same size as these 2 boxes, but technically they should be the same size as these 2 boxes with 24 tallies, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There we go. All right, and each one of those boxes, what is the value of one? What's the value of one? Because you have 24 boxes. What is the value of one of those boxes?
1 half.
Half. So the value of one of these boxes is half. Yes, Emily, you have a question?
We can't see because of the eye.
Then you're gonna have to move. I have to have that up there. So you can pull up a chair, you can pull up a clipboard, but I gotta have that. So, LeVay, did you get this right? Did you do the drawing right too? But you just did the math right. All right, and then you what?
He did it right too.
Okay, so I have 3 people then who got this right.
I got it right.
Yes.
So after you
Listen.
told me to
Y'all did not get it right, because I walked around.
I got 24.
after you told me to correct it, I did the math right, but then I drew the diagram wrong.
Okay, so, and that's the other part, so making sure that you can understand the diagram and the math as well. All right, you're not done with this paper, but we're gonna put this paper to the side for a minute. Yes? Huh? No, we're in the middle of instruction. All right, so every single day that we do an open up lesson, you will have a beautifully colored cool down. This cool down gets turned in. This gets a grade. Either 100. This one has 1, 2, 3. This will be a little bit more because it's got more questions. But usually it's either a 100 or a 0 because it's usually only one question on here. When you get this back, which should be tomorrow, you will glue this in on your cool down page. Do not start this until I tell you. If you do not completely answer all of these questions, it's automatically marked wrong. So if you don't draw the diagram, and you just answer it that way, then it's marked wrong. If you draw the diagram and it's wrong, but you get the answer right, you will get half credit. Okay? Just trying to check that it never rained in your life. I know it doesn't happen ever when we're in school. Hello? Hi. Okay. Oh, yes. All right, I'll send it down. All right, make sure you do this, get it turned in, make sure you finish that letter. Okay, River, you can go down. All right, listen. So, please make sure that you are reading every question and you're answering every question. Yes, please, take one.
Bless you.
Bless you. I cannot help you at all on these. These are you showing me that you understand the lesson that we just did. Okay? So this is 100% on your own. When you are finished, ladies and gentlemen, first and last name, date, period, put it in the third period bin, get out your letter, work on your letter. All right? We will have a little bit of time possibly for social time. I was gonna let you go outside, but that's clearly not gonna happen. Before we get started on our cool down now, actually no, I forgot, because you guys are my plus class, so I have to give you more work. Don't you love that?
No, we hate that. We hate that a lot.
I do. You have to. All right, hold on. So, go ahead, take your notes. These are technically your notes. You can trim them down so they fit a little bit better in your notebook. And you're gluing them in on this page. Do not talk. So you're going to glue them down. When you're finished with your cool down, so when you're finished with the pink paper, you are doing the Are You Ready for More? Okay? Any questions? So what do you do first? Raise your hand and tell me. What do you do first, Raheem? Glue in your notes. What do you do second? Michaela?
Pull down.
Pull down. What do you do third? What do you do third? Raise your hand. Jack.
Your future self.
Nope. The Are You Ready for More, remember? How to add that in. The Are You Ready for More is found on your notes page. So it's right after number 2C. If you get done with all of that, then you work on your notes of future self. Okay. Hold on, guys. Everyone stop what you're doing. Put everything down. Listen up here, please. Right now, stop what you are doing. All eyes up here.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, guys, I'm Mr. Rackley, and this doesn't apply for everybody, but I'm the AIG teacher. Some of you may be not AIG. So it's done a little differently in middle school than elementary. I'm just kind of trying to, so you can see my name, my face. I only pull out, and I can tell you individually, you have plus classes, which is like you're reading and math, okay? I pull out the IG part. Some of you may know what I'm talking about. I'm more the building person, so as soon as we get it scheduled, probably next week we'll start, and I'll talk to you individually. So, but Ms. Kenny knows me for a lot of years, and my room is down here on 6th grade hallway this year. So,
Next to Miss Sandoval, right?
yes, and I'm not sure when I'll for you. It'll be just like a 30-40 minute thing once a week. So.
Okay. All right, get to work, guys.
Yes. Well, I have to get a list out. I can't say out.
Why are we talking? This is not group work. None of this is group work.